Welcome to the deep dive. We're zeroing in today on AI developments, but with a twist. We are locking the calendar to one single day, November 5th, 2025.
Right. And what's striking about that snapshot, just one day, is how you see AI shifting gear.
Hmm.
It's moving from, interesting research concepts to being actual global infrastructure.
Absolutely. Policy, scaling, real-world deployment, it's all happening and fast.
And it's truly global. We're seeing major moves across the EU, US, China, India, all focused on getting AI out of the lab and into regulated everyday use. It's less can we and much more how do we manage this?
Okay, let's dive into that. We'll start, as always, on the research front, because even with all the policy talk, the science is still pushing forward, though maybe with some growing pains.
Definitely some growing pains. But first, a really positive development from Google AI. They unveiled something called Forestcast.
Forestcast, so predicting forest issues.
Exactly. It's a deep learning model that uses satellite data not just to see deforestation that's happened, but to predict where it's likely to happen next.
Ah, so it's proactive.
That's the key. Unlike the older tools that just detected damage, this lets conservation groups actually target their efforts before the trees come down. Get ahead of the problem. It's a global initiative.
Very interesting. And sticking with breakthroughs, something quite mind-bending published in Nature, AI decoding brain activity directly into text.
Yeah, they're calling it mind captioning. Researchers use neural nets trained on fMRI and EEG data brain scans, essentially to convert cognitive patterns, basically thoughts, into written text.
Thoughts into text. That's incredible potential, especially for communication.
Huge potential. It could genuinely change things for nonverbal individuals, offering a way to communicate complex thoughts, not just simple commands, through a brain-computer interface.
But I have to ask, thought-based dialogue, that immediately brings up massive privacy and security questions, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's the immediate hurdle. The potential for misuse is, frankly, enormous. While the goal is medical, any tech reading thoughts needs strict ethical guardrails before it even gets close to wide use. Privacy has to be paramount.
Okay. Now, for those growing pains we mentioned, academia is feeling the pressure. RLSIF, the big open access repository, they've had to make a drastic move.
Yeah, they announced they're stopping submissions of computer science review articles and position papers.
Why? Just too many.
Too many low-quality ones. They explicitly cited a huge surge in submissions that look like they were largely generated by LLM's large language models. Basically, academic slop, as some are calling it.
Wow. So they're trying to protect the quality of the science on there.
Exactly. Keep the platform focused on genuine, original research, not just AI-generated summaries flooding the system.
And speaking of quality and safety, there's a really concerning study out of Poland. Wrocław Medical University looked at mental health chatbots.
And the findings are, well, alarming. They tested 29 different mental health support apps using AI chatbots.
And
Not one, not a single chatbot met their criteria for giving an adequate response when presented with escalating suicidal risk.
that's terrifying.
It really is. Almost half the apps responded in what the study called a completely inadequate manner. This isn't just a technical failure. It highlights a serious safety gap. We need minimum safety standards for these kinds of sensitive applications. Urgently. They have to help, not harm.
That real-world impact, or lack thereof, segues perfectly into our next segment. We're seeing AI products shift from just conversation to being actual workers, even physical agents. Anthropic's update to Claude seems like a prime example.
It really does. They're swapping out their old JavaScript tool for new Python-based capabilities. This lets Claude actually create files, execute code. It's aimed at their Mac, team, and enterprise users.
So it's moving beyond just chatting or summarizing.
Precisely. The market's shifting. It's less AI as a conversationalist and more AI as a code-native worker, something that can build durable things, scripts, data visualizations, reports, you name it.
And if AI is going to be a worker, it needs to be reliable. Google seems focused on that with Gemini API updates.
Yeah, they've made major improvements to what they call structured outputs. The key thing here is guaranteeing that the AI's response strictly follows standard data formats, like JSON.
Why does that guarantee matter so much?
Think about building automated systems. If you ask an AI for data, say, customer details, you need to format it exactly right to feed into your database or another AI agent.
Ah, so no more unpredictable formatting you have to clean up yourself.
Exactly. It removes that unpredictability, makes communication between AI agents reliable, lets you populate databases directly, it smooths out the whole process, less manual fiddling.
Okay. Meanwhile, over in China, XPeng had a big AI day. Sounds like they're going all in on physical AI.
They really are. They showed off a whole portfolio. VLA 2.0, that's a vision language action model. They've got a robo-taxi plan for 2026. And even a humanoid robot called Iron.
A robotaxi. How advanced is it?
Well, they're claiming full L4 autonomous driving using only cameras, pure vision. And the hardware behind it is serious. 4 of their own Turing AI chips delivering 3,000 TOPS.
3,000 tera operations per second. That's a huge amount of processing power.
It is, and it shows their ambition.
Yeah.
Building the whole stack, from the silicon up to the vehicle, aiming for mass production.
That need for massive scale and power leads us nicely to maybe the biggest partnership news of the day, Apple and Google.
Yes, Apple confirmed they're going to use Google's massive 1.2 trillion parameter AI model to power the next big Siri upgrade.
1.2 trillion parameters. That number is just hard to grasp.
It's enormous, and it tells you something important. Building these absolute frontier models is so incredibly expensive and resource-intensive that even giants like Apple find it makes sense to partner rather than build everything themselves.
So this gives Siri a major boost in understanding context, competing better with ChatGPT or Gemini.
That's the plan. Leveraging Google's model should significantly lift Siri's capabilities, especially in handling more complex conversations and tasks. It's set for rollout in early 2026, according to reports.
That resource intensity really sets the stage for our next segment, the chips and infrastructure arms race. If Apple needs Google's scale, what does that imply for countries? China seems to have an answer.
A very direct answer. New government guidance there mandates that any new state-funded data center projects must use domestically produced AI chips. No foreign chips allowed for those projects.
Wow, that's a major step in the US-China tech split.
It's a significant escalation. It forces faster development of China's own AI chip industry and directly impacts companies like NVIDIA and AMD, who see China as a huge market. It's about self-reliance.
But it's not just about nations building walls, is it? We're also seeing specialization, chips designed for specific tasks, like from Groq.
Exactly. Groq, known for their low-latency chips, LPUs they call them, language processing units, announced a big partnership in India with Paytm, the huge digital payments company.
So using Groq's speed for payments.
For real-time AI tasks within payments. Think fraud detection, risk modeling. In those areas, speed inference latency is absolutely critical. Even milliseconds matter.
So Groq's LPU is faster or more efficient for that specific job than a general-purpose GPU.
Adds to the value proposition. It validates these purpose-built accelerators. They deliver the necessary speed more cost-effectively for time-sensitive functions, where you don't need the massive parallel processing of a GPU, but you need near-instant results.
Okay. And what about the established players fighting NVIDIA's dominance? Intel seems to be making noise with Gaudi 3.
They are. Inflection AI launched an enterprise AI system that runs on Intel's Gaudi 3 accelerators, offered through Intel's cloud service.
And how does it stack up?
The key metric they're pushing is price performance. They claim up to twice the performance for the cost compared to the NVIDIA H100, which is sort of the industry standard right now.
So offering businesses a genuinely competitive alternative outside the NVIDIA ecosystem.
That's the goal. A turnkey solution that performs well and might save you money.
And AMD. Are they gaining ground too?
It's like it. An SEC filing from AMD gave some concrete financial data. They specifically called out their Instinct MI350 series GPUs as a key reason for an increase in their data center segment's gross margin.
Ah, so proof from the financials.
Exactly. Margins are tough in this market. The filing showed their product mix helped lift gross margin from 50% to 52% year over year. It might sound small, but a 2% shift is significant. It shows their chips are competing effectively and they have some pricing power against NVIDIA. It's primary source validation.
All right, let's shift from the hardware race to the rules of the road. Segment D policy, governance, and risk. It feels like while the tech is accelerating, the regulators are hitting the accelerator too, but maybe pointing in different directions.
That's a good way to put it. There's definitely a global rush to set up guardrails, but the focus varies. Take India, for example. They released their AI governance guidelines.
Based on 7 sutras.
Yeah, that's the framework. 7 guiding principles. India is aiming for what they call a third way, trying to balance encouraging innovation and using AI for development with ensuring safety and ethics. It sets their national agenda.
Okay, so India's focused on the big picture, the national strategy. What about the EU?
The EU is getting down to specifics, implementing parts of their AI Act. The European Commission just kicked off a 7-month process to create a voluntary code of practice for labeling AI-generated content.
Labeling, so fighting deep fakes and misinformation.
That's the main goal. This is about defining the technical standards for how content should be marked, maybe using machine-readable formats so detection can be automated. It's a crucial step before the AI Act fully applies.
And here in the US, the focus seems to be shifting towards fairness, especially in pricing.
Right. We saw a bipartisan group of House lawmakers, 24 Democrats, send a letter to Delta Airlines. They want details on how Delta is using generative AI for its dynamic ticket pricing.
Why the scrutiny?
They're concerned about potential discrimination. Could the AI be charging different people different prices unfairly? It highlights the growing regulatory risk for AI in any consumer-facing industry where algorithms set prices in real time. This could lead to new rules about algorithmic fairness.
And amidst all this growth in policymaking, the economists sounded a warning bell about the market itself.
Yeah, a cautionary piece for sure. They analyzed the potential impact of an AI stock market crash, pointing out how incredibly concentrated the market has become.
Concentrated how?
Their analysis showed that the top 20 companies in the S&P 500 index now make up 52% of the index's total value. And those top companies are heavily dominated by AI-related firms.
52% from just 20 companies.
Exactly. That level of concentration raises serious systemic risk concerns. If something hits those top AI stocks hard, it could drag down the whole market, regardless of how useful the AI tech itself is becoming.
That risk warning is a stark contrast to our next segment, enterprise adoption and funding. Because businesses are clearly not slowing down. OpenAI hit a massive milestone.
It's just huge. They announced they now have over 1 million business customers using their AI tools. 1 million companies.
They're calling it the fastest growing business platform in history. Is that hyperbole or?
It's hard to argue with the number. 1 million customers shows AI isn't just hype anymore. It's being integrated into core business operations globally at an absolutely unprecedented speed and scale.
And that scale is driving big international partnerships too, like SoftBank and OpenAI in Japan.
Yes, they've formed a 50-50 joint venture called SBOAI Japan. The goal is to offer packaged enterprise AI solutions tailored for the Japanese market. They're calling it Crystal Intelligence.
OpenAI's first country-specific deal in Asia-Pacific.
That's right. It's a strategic move to localize their tech and really embed it within one of the world's biggest economies, aiming to transform how Japanese companies operate by 2026.
We also saw a fascinating deal in the consumer space. Snap and Perplexity AI, and a lot of money involved.
A lot of money. Perplexity AI is paying Snap $400 million over just 1 year.
Paying Snap? For what?
To embed Perplexity's conversational AI search features directly into Snapchat.
That structure seems unusual. Usually the platform pays for the tech, right?
Typically, yes. The fact that Perplexity, the AI search provider, is paying Snap, the social platform, shows incredible confidence from Perplexity. They're betting heavily that they can monetize their AI search effectively within Snapchat's huge user base. It validates their strategy of embedding their AI everywhere.
Interesting bet. And finally, on the enterprise front, Microsoft is investing heavily in skills, specifically in the UAE.
Yeah, they updated their Elevate skilling program there. They've committed to training 1 million people across the UAE in AI and digital skills.
1 million people. Who are they targeting?
It's broad. It includes 30,000 educators, 70,000 students, but also the wider workforce. It directly supports the UAE's national AI strategy by building that pipeline of AI-ready talent needed to actually use all this technology.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's quickly mention a couple of tools or opportunities for you, the listener, based on today's news.
Right. First, if you're into data science, the DeepNote AI notebook platform just went open source under the Apache 2.0 license. It's a really powerful collaborative environment, and now it's more accessible.
Good to know. And second,
Databricks has launched a hackathon using their free edition. It's a chance for developers to play around with their new agent bricks and AI gateway tools, perfect for building the kind of AI agent systems we were just talking about.
great tips. So let's crystallize the day with our numbers of the day. 2 figures that really capture the moment. The first.
1 million. The number of business customers OpenAI surpassed. It just speaks volumes about the sheer speed of enterprise adoption right now.
Unprecedented speed. And the second number.
52%. The slice of the S&P 500 index, now controlled by just the top 20 companies, mostly AI-driven. That highlights the concentration and the systemic risk the economists warned about.
So that's the tension, isn't it? This incredible, almost breakneck velocity of adoption, the million customers, the $400 million deals, the chip investments.
Versus the urgent, maybe slower, but crucial work happening globally on policy. The EU labeling rules, India's Sutras, the US fairness probes, trying to build the guardrails while the train is already moving at top speed.
It really feels like a race.
It absolutely is. And the critical question, the thought maybe to leave you with, is which force wins out in the near term? Will the pace of this technological disruption, which seems unstoppable right now, simply outrun the ability of regulators and society to put effective safety nets and ethical frameworks in place?
Which force dictates the next 12 months? Technology speed or policy caution? A vital question indeed.
We'll have to watch closely.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into AI on November 5th, 2025. We hope this helps you navigate these rapid changes. We'll see you next time.